Hello, my name's Kathleen and I'm the founder of Yum Yoga, a holistic health company offering yoga, gentle exercise programs and nutrition. Today we're doing a yoga program for releasing tension and any stress that we hold in our shoulders and our hips. So if you're studying for exams or have a stressed work, then this is a perfect exercise routine for releasing tension. You probably want a block to sit on or a big book. And just sit down into that block and really plant your sit bones into the block. Roll your shoulders back and away from your ears and just sit up really nice and straight, lifting through the crown of your head. We're going to start with the gentle breathing exercise, so you might want to close your eyes and just start to breathe in and out through your nose. And start to slow your breath, so inhaling for 2 and then exhaling for 2. Bringing your awareness completely to your breath so you feel present, and keep your shoulders relaxed and away from your ears. On our next inhale, we're going to extend our arms up above our head, stretching up as far as you can, and then exhale, release your hands back down to the ground. Inhale, lifting up, stretching up, and exhale, gently release your arms back down to the ground. Inhale one more time, lift up and stretch up. And at the top, interlace your fingers and lift your palms up towards the sky. So you're not hunching your shoulders, just relax your shoulders down and press your hands up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing into your sit bones so you elongate your spine. And stay here for a couple of breaths, continuing with that breath, breathing in and out through your nose. And then exhale, releasing your arms back down by your side. On our next inhale, we're going to extend our arms back up to the sky. And then exhale, gently move over towards the left, placing your left hand on the ground and stretching over with your right arm. Keep sitting down into your right sit bone as you stretch as far as you can with your right hand. Continuing with that gentle breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Inhale, slowly coming back up, stretching up, and then exhale, moving over to the opposite side, to the right side this time, and stretching over with your left arm, pressing your left sit bone into your block, and stretching as far as you can with your left hand. Inhale, coming back up to center, stretching up, and then exhale, releasing your arms back down by your side. We're going to move onto all fours now, so just remove the block from underneath you and put it out the way. So coming onto all fours, setting yourself up, spreading your fingers as much as possible, and you want your middle finger facing forwards towards the front of your mat, your wrists, elbows and shoulders in one line, and your knees underneath your hips about hip distance apart. As you inhale, drop your belly down towards the mat, lift your tailbone and look forward. And as you exhale, round your back and draw your belly to your spine. Inhale, moving forward again, dropping your belly down towards the mat. And exhale, pressing through your hands, drawing your shoulders away from each other, rounding your back. Inhale. And exhale. So doing 2 more with your own breath. And then coming back to a neutral spine on all fours. On your next inhale, you're going to extend your right arm up to the sky. Look up at your right hand. And then exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left arm and place your right ear onto the mat. Extend your left arm out in front of you and just crawl your left hand across to the right, bringing your left bicep over your right ear. And continue with that steady, comfortable breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And feeling that release in your right shoulder. And then bringing your left hand down next to your face and slowly unthreading yourself, coming back up to all fours. And changing sides, so this time your left side, as you inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky, gaze up at your left hand, and then exhale, slowly threading your left arm underneath your right arm. Bringing your right hand down next to your face and gently unthreading yourself, coming back up to all fours. So that's a great exercise for really stretching out your shoulder muscles. On our next inhale, we're going to tuck our toes under. And as we exhale, lift our hips up towards the sky, coming into downward facing dog. So pressing into your hands, especially your thumb and your forefinger, and lifting your hips up to the sky, pressing your heels down towards the ground. So it doesn't matter if your heels don't get to the ground, as long as you're pressing down through your heels and you feel your hips lifting up. And then on your next exhale, drop your knees down to the mat again. Bring your knees mat width apart and sit down onto your heels, extending your arms out in front of you and dropping your forehead down towards the mat. So this is child's pose. It's a really nice pose for releasing tension in your back. And you can elongate your spine by stretching your hands forward and dropping your tailbone down towards your heels. Feel like there's a big pair of hands pressing your hips down. As you inhale, slowly bring yourself back up onto all fours. Tuck your toes again and lift your hips up towards the sky, coming into downward facing dog again. Remember to keep that steady, comfortable breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And then slowly walk your feet in between your hands. Bring your feet about hip distance apart, so 2 fists. We all think our hips are massive and everyone puts their feet out here, but actually they're only about hip distance apart. And just allow yourself to hang here, holding on to opposite elbows with opposite hands. You can bend your knees if you feel any tension in your thighs or in your hips. And then slowly bending your knees, roll up vertebra by vertebra, coming up to standing. and rolling your shoulders back. So we're going to do a nice gentle exercise now, again for our shoulders, and it's a bit like doing standing backstroke. So as you inhale, I want you to lift your right arm and then exhale, really using that shoulder joint, move your arm back. Changing sides, inhale, extend your left arm up, lift up, and exhale, move back. On the other side again, inhale, lift, and exhale back. So really mobilizing your shoulder joint. Inhale, lift, and exhale back. So one more on each side. Inhale, stretch up at the top, and then exhale, gently take your arm back. Inhale as you lift, stretch up, and then exhale, taking your arm back. Great, so we're going to come to the front of our mats now, bring our feet together, and as we inhale, we're going to open up our arms, stretch up to the sky, and then exhale, fold forward through our midline. Inhale, looking forwards with a flat back, and then exhale, stepping your left leg back, moving slowly, and then bringing your left knee down to the mat, releasing your left foot. As you inhale, lift yourself up. You can place your hands onto your hips, or if you're more comfortable, you can extend your arms up to the sky. And as you do, drop your left hip forward and down. So you should feel a really nice stretch here in your left hip flexors. You want to keep your right knee in line with your right ankle. And then breathe, bringing your attention to your breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And as you exhale, bring your hands back down to the ground to frame your right foot. Tuck your left toes under and step back to downward facing dog again. As you inhale this time, extend your left leg out behind you and step your left foot in between your hands. This time dropping your right knee, releasing your right toes. Inhale, lift yourself up. You can place your hands onto your hips or extend your arms up to the sky. And then just drop that right hip forwards and down. This time stretching your right hip flexor muscles. Exhale, bringing your hands down to frame your left foot. Tuck your right toes under. Move your weight back onto your right foot. Engage your core and then step forward to the front of the mat. Bringing your feet back together. Inhale to look forwards and exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, take your arms out and up. Stretch up to the sky, gaze at your thumbs, and exhale your hands back to heart center. Inhale, take your arms out and up, stretch up, and exhale, fold forward through the center. Inhale, look forwards with a flat back, and exhale, stepping your right leg back this time. Dropping your right knee again, releasing your right foot, and inhale, coming up. Roll your shoulders back and interlace your hands behind you. You can keep your palms apart, or if you can draw your palms together and then move your hands down towards your bottom and feel that area around the front of your chest start to open up. Just being gentle with your body, knowing your limitations and knowing when to stop. Exhale, coming back up and gently releasing your arms, placing your hands down on the ground to frame your left foot. Tuck your right toes under and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, extending your right foot and gently step your right leg in between your hands, dropping your left knee and releasing your left foot. Inhale to come up again. And rolling your shoulders back, bringing your hands behind you, interlacing your fingers, and draw your hands down again, drawing them down your left thigh, opening up around your shoulders and your chest area, and continuing with that comfortable breath. Then release your hands, bring them down to frame your right foot, tuck your left toes under, move your weight back onto your left foot and step forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, look forwards, and exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, taking your arms out and up, stretch up to the sky. And exhale your hands back to heart center. So your body should be feeling a little bit warmer now. And we're going to take a step out, coming into a wide step, turning your toes a little bit in towards each other, placing your hands on your hips. And as you inhale, lift up through the crown of your head, lengthen through your spine, and slowly hinge forward from your hips. Relaxing your chest and your head, and placing your hands down onto the ground. If you've still got your block nearby, you can take your block and place your hands onto your block. But if your hands reach the ground, that's perfect. Try to get your fingers in line with your toes, and then just gently release your head down towards the ground. Lift your tailbone, and feel your hamstring muscles, the muscles in the back of your thighs, start to release. Inhale, look halfway up and extend your right arm out in front of you, coming onto your right fingertips. And then bring your left hand underneath your right arm and bring your hand onto your right ankle or right shin and look underneath your right armpit, bending that left elbow and twisting around from your core. Inhale to look forward and exhale, unwind, changing sides and extending your left arm out in front of you, threading your right arm underneath your left arm, bending that right elbow and twisting around to the left, looking under your left armpit this time. Inhale to look forward and exhale, slowly crawl your hands back in between your feet. And then on your next inhale, really engaging your core, slowly draw yourself back up to standing. Nice, rolling your shoulders back a couple of times. Perfect. Turning your right toes towards the front of the mat again. Bend your right knee and cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Step your right foot back and move back into downward facing dog. On your next exhale, drop your knees down to the mat width apart again. Big toes together, and we're going to move back into child's pose, extending your arms out in front of you and bringing your forehead down to the ground. Slowly and mindfully bring yourself back up to a seated position. Roll your bottom over to one side and come to sit on your bottom, releasing any flesh from underneath you, so you're sitting on your sit bones. And bring the soles of your feet together. Hold onto your ankles or your feet. And as you inhale, plant your sit bones into the mat and lift up through the crown of your head, keeping your shoulders down and away from your ears. And as you exhale, slowly move forward. So in this movement, you want to think about bringing your belly button towards your feet, rather than rounding your back and dropping your head. As you inhale, extend. And as you exhale, just soften down, moving a little further into the pose. So this is a really good posture for releasing tension from your hips. Your next inhale, slowly bringing yourself back up. And we're going to move into a seated forward fold. So extending your legs out in front of you. Again, you might want to remove any flesh from underneath you so you can really feel your sit bones in the mat. Extend your legs out in front of you and flex your toes towards you. As you inhale, extend your arms up above your head. Ground into your sits bones, and then exhale, hinging forward from your hips. It doesn't matter where your hands get to. You might be here and that's perfectly fine. Or you might be able to get all the way down to your feet, wrapping your hands around the outside of your feet. And then exhale to soften, moving your body further down towards your legs. Inhale to lengthen through your spine, and exhale to soften down further towards your legs. On your next inhale, slowly roll yourself back up to seated. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor about hip distance apart, and just gently roll yourself back onto the mat, using your core to control your movement. Bring your feet a little closer in towards you, so your fingertips are just tickling the backs of your ankles. As you inhale, gently lift your hips up. As you exhale, slowly lower down vertebra by vertebra, coming all the way down to the ground. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. So doing 2 more with your own breath. And this time, as we inhale, we're going to lift up and we're going to hold the pose for a little bit longer. So inhale, lifting your hips. Really ground into your feet as you lift up. And then roll your shoulders underneath your body. Interlace your hands so you can either keep your palms together or apart, whichever is more comfortable. And then draw your hands towards your feet. And as you do, lift your hips a little higher. Keep your gaze upwards and keep pressing into your feet. Try not to hold any tension in your bottom and just allow your bottom muscles to relax. And keep breathing. Release your hands and slowly bring yourself back down onto the ground, vertebra by vertebra. Bring your feet mat width apart and let your knees fall in towards each other. And just gently windshield wiper your legs from side to side. just releasing your hips. And when you move to the left next time, just allow your legs to fall over all the way down to the left. Extend your arms out parallel with your shoulders and turn your head to look over your right fingertips. If you feel comfortable doing so, you can bring your left foot onto your right thigh and press your right thigh down. And this creates length in your right side body. And just relax into your twist, continuing with your comfortable breath. Release your left foot, bring your legs back to center and slowly move them over to the opposite side. All the way down, turning your head to the left this time and bringing your foot onto your left thigh, turning your head to look over your left fingertips. Release your right foot and gently bring your legs back to center. Bring your arms back down by your side and bending your knees, bringing the soles of your feet together. We're going to come into reclined bound angle pose. And just relaxing here, let your lower back sink into the mat. You might want to close your eyes and just take a few breaths. And this pose is really good for releasing tension in your hips. And as you sink your lower back into the ground, you'll feel your knees slowly start to move further towards the ground. If it gets too much, you can just bring your knees a little bit closer. So just gently bring your knees into your chest, roll over to the right side, and bring yourself up to a seated position. And coming to sit however you feel comfortable. Thank you very much for joining the class today. I hope you enjoyed it. You can leave your comments below, and all my information is in the description box. Thank you very much. Namaste.